16 teams. Now just 2 remain, Cedar Cliff and Cumberland Valley. The winner will take home the title of District 3 AAA Team Champion. The Colts and Eagles next on High School Sports Live. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Spartan Center here on the campus of Milton Hershey School. John Reppitz along with George Hartwick, getting ready to bring you the Class AAA final in District 3 of the Team Championship Tournament between Cumberland Valley and Cedar Cliff. This telecast made possible through the support of our 2 premier sponsors, PHFA, the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, and Select Medical. And George, we have a pretty good matchup, at least on paper. But if you were a betting man, you would say that the bracket chalk didn't hold form here. Cedar Cliff comes in as the number 4 seed, Cumberland Valley at number 11. Now, even though those numbers tell one story, I don't think too many people are surprised that these are the 2 teams meeting in the finals.
We talked earlier that the Mid-Penn division today, we had 4 different divisions, all made the finals. I think it's not necessarily just your record, it's the level of competition, the expectation, and coaches that prepare their team to wrestle the best as a team at the time where it matters the most. And it's no secret today, Cedar Cliff, Cumberland Valley, 2 storied programs, backyard rivalries in Cumberland County. The atmosphere is thick. I'm excited as a wrestling fan, and we're excited to be able to bring it to you at home today. Not only are we going to have incredible individual matchups, but we saw a match today with a common opponent in Dallastown in the semifinals. It went down to Criteria H. That's the kind of closeness we're going to expect from today's match, both in individual matchups and team matchups. So strap it in. Tonight we're going to have a barn burner, and it's awesome to be able to bring it to you from an exciting Milton Hershey gym.
Okay, earlier today here at the Spartan Center in the AA Team Championship, Boiling Springs defeated Bishop McDevitt by a score of 43-24. That was the AA's, but now we're getting ready for the AAA final. It's the Cedar Cliff Colts and the Cumberland Valley Eagles next on High School Sports Live.
Hey everybody, I'm at the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board talking with Corrine Donosky, who is the Director of Alcohol Education, and we are talking about know when, know how. Corrine, talk to me about the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board and its role in alcohol education.
The board promotes a no use and zero tolerance use for minors. Earlier than ever, children have started to consume alcoholic beverages. So by the age of 8, 1 in 3 children has tried alcohol, and that number jumps to 2 in 3 by the age of 12. So getting parents to understand the importance of starting conversations with their children earlier and earlier is important.
So the PLCB's new campaign is know when, know how. Talk to me a little bit about that message.
Our new campaign, it's a statewide campaign, it's called Know When, Know How. And we promote helpful tips for parents to begin starting conversations with their children. 80% of teens say that their parents influence their decisions with underage drinking. So it's important for parents to start conversations earlier than ever.
With that said about parents being involved, what are some things that parents can do to help educate their kids?
They can stay involved in their children's lives. They should know what their children are doing, where they're going, who they're going to be with, as well as their friends' parents. They should know the facts. If they visit our website, knowwhenknowhow.org, they can learn some helpful tips to start conversations with their children. Securing alcohol in their own homes. 7 out of 10 parents do not secure alcohol. So if they would secure it, then the children would have access to it.
For more information on how to start the conversation with your kids, go to knowwhenknowhow.org.
Again, back at Spartan Center on the campus of Milton Hershey School, ready for the District 3 AAA Team Championship. Cedar Cliff coming in as the number 4 seed. Cumberland Valley, the Eagles coming in as number 11. It's an old Mid-Penn rivalry, and we're getting ready for a good one.
Exciting today. We're getting strapped up. We've got the home team, Cedar Cliff Colts, the higher seed. Going to be indicated by the green today and represented by the home team. Cumberland Valley in their red and black will be the away team. We're starting out here tonight at 2:20. And we were expecting a little bit of bouncing around. We've got Connor Mundis versus
Donovan Ball for Cedar Cliff.
Donovan Ball immediately in for 2. Now crossface. Lets him out. Donovan Ball with a 20-2 record today, bouncing up here. Donovan's been able to compete at lower weights all year, but one of their more accomplished guys, and bouncing up here looking for some additional bonus points at 220. We expected a little bit of action depending upon the flip here at 220. Donovan Ball again, weights being no factor in on the single leg, runs the pipe, and now up 4-1. Doing a good job of one-on-one maintaining control.
George, when you look at how Cedar Cliff got here with that criteria win over Dallastown the other night, every point, especially bonus points, is really going to be special here. So opening up a big lead like this by Ball could be moved by Rob Rapsey to bump him up to maybe get some early bonus points on the board.
Oh, absolutely. And Ball now selecting a neutral position with a takedown. Now with a half, looking for an inside cradle. Runs the half over the top. He's got it really tight in here. I think he's going to end it. He's got it square. There it is.
There it is. Donovan Ball, winner by fall to get things started for the Colts. You're watching High School Sports Live.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Call Logan or Warren Stumpf at Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Back at Spartan Center, Colts with an early 6-0 lead by that pin at Donovan Ball. We move on to now 285. It's going to be Anthony Shires for Cedar Cliff
versus Quincy Thomas for Cumberland Valley.
Lucas Wadling.
I'm sorry, Lucas Wadling?
Lucas Wadling for Cumberland Valley.
Very good. We've got 3 folks from 220 that could have bounced up to 280. So Lucas Wadling coming in to wrestle here at 285. We talk about height and length being a challenge. Really a tall young man stepping out here on the mat. And again, not the normal 285 pound individual for, actually it is 285 is Anthony Shires with a 16-6 record. Shires now in on the single. Great job. Again, we talk about length. We see Wadling trying to come back in and stick a leg, and he's tough to take down with that leverage. And he's actually able to hook the leg, get a crossface in, and we talked about height and length early on. Not a bad job by Cumberland Valley by putting on a much more challenging opponent here. Now has a near side cradle hooked up. Out of bounds.
This 285-pound match presented by OSS Health, and the 220 match to get things started was sponsored by Select Medical. That one was over so quickly, didn't even have a chance to get that in there. But thanks to all our sponsors for their support during this season.
And we're going to see that a little bit more today. We're not going to get our traditional 30-second break. So if we're coming in and out during the match, we're trying to bring everything to you live. Again, we got Lucas Wadling here, a junior with a 14-12 record. Still maintaining control on top.
And also just to let you know that if you hear some extra cheering in the background, it's because we have 2 matches going simultaneously here. This is the championship match, but right next door to us here on the other adjacent match is the 3rd place match going on between Spring Grove and Central Dauphin.
And really great job by Lucas Wadling, not only staving off an early and effective takedown attempt by Shires, but also being able to ride him out through the first period. He actually has choice. He defers. Anthony Shires from Cedar Cliff selecting the neutral position to begin the second period. And again, Shires needs to be very careful here. He's shown already he's able to get in on the single leg, but you got to figure out when you're wrestling against somebody with that length, you can't waste motion and you got to use your angles and make sure you finish. These are 2 of the winningest teams in District 3 team championship history. It's the 5th time
Cedar Cliff and Cumberland Valley have met in the District 3 AAA Team Championship Tournament. Cumberland Valley winning the first three. Cedar Cliff, its first win last year in the district quarterfinals.
And if you'd asked us before today whether these would be the two teams in the matchup, we were always wondering, how is Cumberland Valley, based upon their team strength, the wins that they had, ranked 11th? Well, they showed you that it's not all about your record coming in, it's about the quality of your opponents and whether you're wrestling at the right time, and your wrestlers are prepared to be able to make a run here towards the district championship.
And that's why we were saying that those rankings are really a misnomer. Cumberland Valley 11th, but they took care of business in Mid-Penn Commonwealth during the regular season. They beat the likes of Central Dauphin and Chambersburg and Mifflin County. And
great job by Wundling again. In on a single, now to a body lock, straight to the back. And actually looking for a pin here. That could be huge when we talk about bonus points.
Lucas Wundling, a winner at 285. You're watching High School Sports Live.
For all those pokers, prodders, shuckers, and sniffers, All Giant Produce is triple checked. Farm, crate, and store. We're focusing on fresh, so you don't have to guess. My Giant. Save big on all of your game day favorites. Only at Giant, a proud sponsor of High School Sports Live.
So we're tied up at 6'6". We move on to 106 pounds.
Rustin Zelak versus Aiden Lewis. Both guys coming in here very accomplished. Zelak with a 25-3 record. Aiden Lewis 21-1. This may be something that we see not only in this matchup, but also potentially as a District 3 championship matchup. Looks like they're locked in here tight. Not much movement, stalemate. We've got a sophomore and a freshman here. Right now, Lewis in on a single leg. Great job in countering. Still no takedown. Lewis hanging on to a single leg, trying to square him up. Zelak trying to get around. Great offense and defense here. Now has both legs, but again, around the body stays Lewis. Zelak trying to now put into criteria, hook the leg, and maintain control. Not able to do so yet. Lewis now hanging on the bottom leg. Looking to scramble here. Now lifts it up over the top of the head. Lewis trying to gain position. Now is able to come around, hook the leg, and have the first two. Great series, great wrestling, great finish by Lewis. Throws in the legs on the top. Not a whole lot of movement here. Trying to break down the arm and break down Zelak flat. Throws in the second boot over the top. Trying to work a power half. Potentially dangerous.
2 seconds left, opening period.
Well, that was some good wrestling we saw there at the beginning.
This 106-pound match brought to you by the Capital Region Insurance Agency.
Oh, we got a caution now. Aiden Lewis, first one.
So Lewis takes a 2-0 lead into period number 2 at 106 pounds. And I mentioned these are two of the winningest programs in District 3 history as we take another look here at that takedown. Cumberland Valley, 59 wins in District 3 Team Championship Tournament history. That's first overall. Cedar Cliff number 5 on the list with 25.
Interesting, I thought CD would be up there.
Central Dauphin second with 51.
Got it. Lewis trying to maintain control. Great job by Zelak. Actually earning his first point. They're now both neutral, and if the early neutral spot was any indication about the level of competition and skill of both of these guys, we're in for a barn burner here. Careful leaning forward. Great job by Zelak. He's not able to finish quickly. Lewis back around, locking between the crotch. Needs to slip that leg in. Zelak trying now to jump over top. Both guys out of bounds. No takedown. We're neutral. Another great shot by Zelak. Just needs to be able to finish. He's really moving Lewis into position, but not able to work and finish here. Lewis, a very good counter wrestler. And again, good Lewis again, controlling the head and the hands. From a response, it sprawls away and spins around for the second takedown, up 4-1. Got to be careful there. Zelak caught the one leg coming in. He's getting high. He's either got to do something here or probably will be called a stalemate. Lewis now. And again, we got Zelak underneath the leg there. Now Lewis trying to throw a power half. He's able to do it. Zelak still maintaining the leg. Now puts himself in criteria position. Lewis getting the count.
There's the count. So we're going to get points here.
I think he's only earned 2. Still the same position. Releases it. Referee gives him 2, 6-1. Aiden Lewis.
Great second period by Aiden Lewis of Cedar Cliff. He's going to take a 6-1 advantage into period number 3 at 106. As we're knotted up after 2 matches at 6-6, and here's another look.
Next power half.
Back to live action.
And again, not a lot of forward action from Lewis. He's really working hard. There's his first shot. Nice single leg. Still no takedown. Wizard in by Zelak. Lewis now trying to come to the head. Near side cradle. Gets it. Now locks it up. Now switches to a half. This could be big as well as a turnaround point. Lewis now earned 3. Trying to earn the pin and the additional bonus points. He's got it tight. Trying to get out. Perpendicular. Squeezing. There it is.
Aiden Lewis of Cedar Cliff makes it 3 pins in 3 matches to start things off. You're watching High School Sports Live.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rental, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your projects from start to finish. With 11 locations, Groff Tractor is always close by your equipment needs. Groff also offers 24/7 field service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Match number 4, Cedar Cliff with a 12-6 advantage, and the 4th match is going to be at 113 pounds.
We've got Ben Mon from Cumberland Valley versus Colbert from Cedar Cliff. Again, another really good matchup here. Ben Mon 26-5, Colbert 18-2. Boy, that was one heck of a turnaround. I was expecting a very close match in that last match between Zelak and Lewis really with a stunner earning bonus points there. Not only just 1, but 3 bonus points with that fall.
Briefly touched earlier about Cedar Cliff's win over Dallastown going to criteria H. So it's head-to-head competition, but it's not only winning, it's how you win, when you score points, how many points you score. Everything comes down to it because you just never know which move or which number of points is going to be the one that decides the big picture.
We talked to an old friend and a familiar wrestling name, Joe Geezy. We got the actual criteria in front of us. And again, in a match like this, with as close as these matchups are, every point matters. And every point could make a difference, particularly if it comes down to the clutch. Nice series there, out of bounds, still remaining neutral. It's good to see Bobby Durr out there, one of the most seasoned officials in District 3, actually in the country. We mentioned Bobby Durr mostly every year, also doing the NCAA Division I and II finals. You couldn't have a better, more equipped or skilled official than Bob Durr in a situation like this.
But no matter who's wearing the striped shirts, I guarantee there will be some disagreement from some of the people in the crowd, right?
Yeah, well, you know, it's sort of like people respect you for putting yourself in the right position but knowing the rules, but you see it through your school's lens or your kid's lens.
So, scoreless opening 2 minutes at 113 pounds. This match brought to you by Highmark.
And again, Ben Mon selecting the defensive position to begin the second period. Tries to clear his hands right up to his feet. Now working hands. Does a good job of getting out right away. Less than 4 seconds. Always talk about getting out from the bottom as a matter of will. Ben Mon exercising his will and showing good technique. Not letting anything get underneath. Control the hands. And we're neutral. 1-0. Ben Mon over Colbert.
We hate to keep harping on the criteria and criteria H, which was most first point scored.
Yep.
That move right there,
Good
the
matter.
escape. 1 point. It was the first one of the match. That gets tacked on to that criteria total, so you never know. That 1 point could make all the difference.
And the first point scored in a match also could be significant because if the match is tied, you go through the 3 overtimes for the 30-second sudden death ride out. The person who scored the first point gets a selection. The first point's always important.
Almost halfway through, 113 pounds. Ben Mon of Cumberland Valley, a 1-0 lead over Colbert of Cedar Cliff.
Neutral, these guys are square and pretty even. 45 seconds remaining. Neither guy wanting to show a whole lot of offense here. Both guys keeping good position. Half shot there. Again, anytime you're working ear to ear, you're not going to see much.
After that fast, furious start in 3 matches, this is almost kind of like a pedestrian.
It is. But again, I was expecting that from the last match, and it turned around. So at any moment it could.
You know, the great thing about wrestling is you have these guys that have these gaudy records, 23-2, and they're facing up. But sometimes it could come down to those guys that have a 500 record or even a losing record.
Yep.
How they perform could be the difference in the match.
Well, we saw that at heavyweight. Talked about a toss-up match, and it wasn't a toss-up. It was one that earned bonus points for Cumberland Valley.
So we go to period number 3 at 113. Ben Mon of Cumberland Valley in the black has a 1-0 lead over Colbert of Cedar Cliff.
We got Colbert again selecting the defensive position to begin the second period, and Ben Mon showing that he's also equipped to be able to not only have a good first move from the bottom, but he's able to control from the top as well. About 23 seconds into the third period. Still Ben Mon with a 1-0 lead in the offensive position as they get back and set in the center of the mat. Looking for a Turk there. Got to be very careful. He doesn't want to give up 2 here. It looks like he's going to give up 1. No, he actually maintains control going out of bounds. No change.
This is the 4th district team match for these 2 teams. In the first 3 rounds, Cedar Cliff has used 18 wrestlers. Cumberland Valley's used 15. So out of 33 wrestlers that have taken the mat for each of these teams, there's been only 6 seniors.
Well, you know what that means?
It means
next year we might
could be back here doing these same 2 teams again.
You talked about the winningest records. There's no reason to believe that both the elementary programs and the feeder programs for both of these schools remain strong and active. And we talked earlier in the season about numbers and whether or not we were seeing full lineups. And I don't think you have those problems in the Cedar Cliffs, Cumberland Valleys, and CDs of the world.
And typically, with this level of competition, if there's a forfeit, it's usually strategic.
Yep.
And
I don't think we'll see any of those.
Not out of necessity.
Yep. There you go. Mon still trying to maintain control. He's got to step across here. He's got to be very careful. Still maintains control. There's a
40 seconds to go. It's still 1-0.
I'll tell you, this would be one heck of a feat for Mon to ride him out here. And, you know, Colbert needs to work up off the bottom right now. He's attempted to it. Bottom guy really needs to work up. Got a tight waist here and a one-on-one. Not a whole lot happening. Mon just putting the weight forward on that back side of the tricep. But now we got a second stalling warning there on the top man, making it 1-1. Bob Durr not afraid to make that call, and I'll tell you, it was the right call. Again, one-on-one, not really doing anything to advance, and it's tied up 10 seconds to go. And now Ben Mon has to hang on and is going to try to do that with 4, 3, 2. We're going to see our first overtime match of the day.
How unusual is it to see a stall like that called for the guy on top?
Very, very usual. You know, the top guy has the responsibility to promote the action. You got to be working inside and working for a turn. Bottom guy has to have his head off the mat, but you just can't hang on and ride without trying to make those turns. And Bob Durr, a seasoned official, exactly the type of call you would expect from him. And now we got the guys out here to decide it. I mean, this is the way it's supposed to be.
So here we go. It's 1-1 as we go to overtime. First is 1 minute. Let's see what happens.
1 minute on our feet. First takedown wins.
First point.
Stalling warning now. Stalling warning Green. Green in for takedown. There it is. What a turnaround. What a turnaround.
Colbert pulls out the win for Cedar Cliff at 1:13. You're watching High School Sports Live.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
Back on the campus of Milton Hershey School at the Spartan Center. What a match we have going here between Cedar Cliff and Cumberland Valley. Cedar Cliff on top, 15-6. Move on to our fifth match of the day. It's 120 pounds. It's brought to you by Mazzetti and Sullivan. And it's Hunter Arbogast for Cumberland Valley against Creed Bogardus of Cedar Cliff.
So that means we'll see J.J. Wilson bump up a weight. J.J. Wilson, the junior. A 100-win wrestler for Cedar Cliff, going to try to get a better matchup. So Arbogast here with a 14-11 record for Cumberland Valley. Bogardus, actually 16-3. We talked about this already. The number of kids who are good between that 20 and 32-pound area is really, really a solid spot for Cedar Cliff. Saying that, we've got Arbogast now trying to work for a takedown. Bogardus now still hanging on. Got his hand out. No takedown yet. No takedown yet. Now gets it.
What kind of luxury is that for the coaching staff, knowing that you have some flexibility where you can bounce guys between 2 and 3 different weight classes?
That's incredible. I mean, when you're talking about that weight too, which is such a critical spot, when you're talking about one of the top kids in the state, you have it a 120-pounder. You got 2 other kids at 32 or 20 and 32 that could go either way. That both have extraordinarily good records. I mean, that gives you a great deal of opportunity to be able to bounce kids around to always work for the best matchup.
Lucas Wanling of Cumberland Valley, who won earlier, in 3 matches in the districts, he had wrestled at 3 different weight classes. He wrestled at 195, 220, and 285 going into today.
And Arbogast really doing a good job here.
Arbogast came up with one of the big wins in their semifinal win over Central Dauphin the other night. I'm sorry, over Spring Grove the other night.
Great job of trying to be able to switch, put 1 and 2 things together. Now earning the first escape here. Coming out on fire is Hunter Arbogast from Cumberland Valley. Feeling the sting of that last match and knowing what he's going to need to be able to provide for his team.
Taking a look at how these teams got here, Cedar Cliff opened up with a win over number 13 Exeter. That was a rematch of last year's final. Then in the quarterfinals, Cedar Cliff took care of number 5 New Oxford and then number 9 Dallastown on Thursday, as we said, by criteria H. Cumberland Valley, on the other hand, knocked off number 6 Chambersburg in the opening round, number 3 Central Dauphin in the quarterfinals, and Spring Grove in the semifinals.
Arbogast really is controlling heads here, controlling the motion, moving the head around and trying to put himself in a position. Great job by Creed Bogardus actually to come back here, and you can see the wear and tear on these guys. We got black eyes and black chins, and this is the end of the road here for districts. And next week now competing in the state team championships. But it's not been an easy week in competition here for either of these teams. Now a little bit more life by Creed Bogardus. Now trying to try this front headlock, bouncing him down with an underhook. Arbogast needs to be careful there.
Both these wrestlers just sophomores, so they got 2 more years to look at.
And again, now Creed Bogardus starting to get on the aggressive look here. He's down 3-0. He really needs a score. Is being the only one here now aggressively trying to earn a takedown. Second shot in a row now, going for a dump. Trying to spin around and does so. 10 seconds to go. Could prove to be big here. Make it a 3-2. He needs to hang on. Able to re-switch there as the time runs out. 3-2 will be the lead for Hunter Arbogast coming into the third period.
So late move there in the second period by Bogardus of Cedar Cliff makes it a 3-2 score. Here's another quick look at it.
Nice dump, and actually now Creed Bogardus gets the option of selecting the defensive position to begin the third period. Ideally either wants to switch or escape here to tie it up to allow the takedown to win this match. Not a very energetic first move by either guy here. Spending a lot of energy at the end of the second period. Now Bogardus trying to block out hands from coming underneath. Keep his head off the mat. Trying to get hand control here. Up. Gotta be careful he doesn't lock hands underneath there. Now he's got one. He's got one hand. Trying to get hips away. Great job by Arbogast staying in control. And again, Bogardus needs to keep that hand control. Get that arm between the body. Able to earn the one.
There's the point. We're tied up at 3.
Now again, being on the aggressive end. Seems like Bogardus has something left in the tank. 3-3 with a minute remaining. Oh. A lot of upper body stuff there. Out of bounds. We're still 3-3, 56 remaining. Got to get away from ear to ear. And again, Arbogast really trying to tie up tight. Bogardus wants to get away like he has control of the head. and now move him to a position to be able to work for a takedown here. Just exactly as I said, moved away, now trying to dump again, coming around again. He earns two
on the takedown,
looking
30
for back
seconds.
points.
So back to the middle to start again, 26 seconds left. Strong finish so far here by Creed Bogardus of Cedar Cliff.
Doesn't want to give up two here. Doesn't want to lock hands either. Great job by Arbogast by trying to come around switch. He's looking for two, not just one. Creed Bogardus staying in control. 15 seconds remaining. Trying to hang on to that inside leg. Needs to work up. 10 seconds. Three seconds. There it is.
Creed Bogardus of Cedar Cliff, a winner at 120. You're watching High School Sports Live.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $6.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
So Cedar Cliff, you can't really say in control, although the Colts have won 4 of the 5 matches so far, including the last 3. Colts open up an 18-6 lead on the scoreboard after the 120-pound match, so they now move on to 126.
Yeah, we got a good matchup here, too, with J.J. Wilson
Cade Reichert and J.J. Wilson.
J.J. Wilson immediately. Nice upper body toss. Earns 2. Record no strange name to Cumberland Valley fans. Stands up here, potentially dangerous. Exciting flurry at the beginning of the first 22 seconds.
Wilson, one of those names it seems like we've been calling forever.
It does.
He's only a junior. He's over 100 wins in his career. He's already committed to Cornell.
Yep. And he's got all that sewed up, so now he's focused on what he's going to do in the postseason and hopefully, you know, bring his team closer to a team title here that they so desperately have been working hard and really overcome a lot of challenges for. And Wilson really the team leader here.
And Reichert, no slouch in his own right. More than 20 wins this year, more than 60 in his career at Cumberland Valley.
J.J. Wilson really a higher caliber wrestler, and Reichert will come out here, and I know certainly from a family of wrestlers that are tough, but you got Wilson here already starting to work him over the top, double boots in over the top, trying to power half, grinding Reichert into the mat using his head, one-on-one, taking it up over the back, really keeping all the weight forward. For those kids who are watching at home, when you talk about riding legs, this is what you want to do. Really keep that weight moving forward, work the hands, try to work them flat, working the one-on-ones here. Now he's got it across the back. He's got to get his legs out here. He's probably going to throw in. Yeah, he's going to come up here with a claw. Now looking for a tilt situation. Able to do it.
Picking up points.
Really nice there. Still got the arm in the middle of the back. He's got to be careful to keep it across, keep it against the body, not pull it away. Now he's going to switch to a bar here. Nope. No points yet. Still in the same position. The arm's still trapped. You don't award the points until the situation's over. Now Wilson now with a bar. Looks potentially dangerous there.
So great opening period by J.J. Wilson of Cedar Cliff at 126. 5-0 advantage over Cade Reichert.
Trying an ankle pick is Reichert. Stops the first move. And again, Wilson's moved up for this match. Traditionally a 20-pounder, up to 26. Reichert a little bit taller. Wilson trying not to let arms in underneath. Reichert doing a good job of controlling ankles. Wilson up on his feet. Now trying to work hands. Reichert has to be careful not to do it. That's a stalling warning. Good call. He can't push out of bounds there. Instead of trying to wrestle in, Reichert used the tactic of pushing him out of bounds as a mechanism to not allow Wilson to escape. Referee Bob Durr, first stalling warning on Cade Reichert.
This 126-pound match brought to you by Groff Tractor.
Good job by Cade Reichert so far, controlling from the top position against a tough J.J. Wilson. Now really needs to work up. Great job of keeping the weight forward, trapping the arms in. Now back down to an ankle, drops to a leg. Wilson now dragging with a, again, great job by Reichert, bringing him back down. Now Wilson underneath, clear space, earns one. Again, no riding time in high school. 6-0, J.J. Wilson. No moving backwards for Cade Reichert. He continues to come forward against J.J. Wilson. Circling him out. It's the end of the second.
End of the second period. J.J. Wilson of Cedar Cliff in control. 6-0 lead. Drop tractor replay. Here's that return to the mat. As spectacular as that looked, did that really do anything?
No points scored.
No points scored.
Maintain control. And interesting, you saw in the first period where Wilson gets it on top, throws the legs, and is able to get a tilt situation, selecting the offensive position to begin this third period. Not something that most wrestlers do. Really confident in his ability to control the defensive wrestler. And again, has Cade Reichert stretched out, one-on-one, both legs in. Trying to work underneath the arms. He's got to start working something here. Stalemate. Usually how this goes for those of you at home, when you throw legs like that on the top, fish will give you a stalemate. Next time, if there's no improvement, you'll see the top guy get hauled for stalling. Great move by Cade Reichert. No legs getting a chance to get in when you sit out and turn in that way. Earns his first point. Oh, nice. Both guys, upper body. We got some blood, it looks like, too. J.J. Wilson really looks comfortable from the upper body. Even being in a weight class that he's normally not in, but every one of these tie-ups, he continues to end up on top and tossing Cade Reichert.
I know we've had some stalemates. I've noticed the officials are talking to the wrestlers. What would some of the things that he's telling them? Improve. You know, you don't give that. You don't coach, but you let them know about backing up. Don't back up. You know, stay in the circle. Stay in the circle. Things to be able to coach, and you see Bob Durr doing that frequently as a seasoned official. "19 seconds remaining in this 126-pound match.
Again, Wilson never really being out of position here. Underhooks, working by Reichert. Now over the top.
Make it 4 wins in a row for Cedar Cliff as J.J. Wilson is the winner at 126. You're watching High School Sports Live.
Hit the road with Jack. Hit the road with the Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 8 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, and Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. A Giambalvo family dealership. Over $20 million in new and pre-owned inventory with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family's been a part of your community for decades. Hit the road with Jack and find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at Giambalvo.com.
Back at Milton Hershey, Cedar Cliff with a 21-6 lead over Cumberland Valley. So we move on to 132 pounds. Mason Veman of Cumberland Valley taking on Christian Pressel of Cedar Cliff.
Again, a good matchup here. A whole lot of action right from the door. We see Beeman with the first takedown. Presti immediately earning an escape. Now Presti back in on the single. Presti now trying to turn the corner. He's got it hooked. Great job by countering by Beeman. Beeman now second takedown going up 4-1. Now locks up a near side cradle. Out of bounds is not his friend.
Beeman, a junior with 20 wins. Prestel, a junior with 17. George, so far Cumberland Valley fans haven't had a whole lot to cheer about, but so far Mason Beeman's given them something in this bout.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the Cedar Cliff matches they needed to win that were close, they've really spread some bonus points through that mix. In Cumberland Valley, even through some of their solid wrestlers, Cedar Cliff, I think, with the toss got the matchups they wanted. So far, advantage Cedar Cliff. Beeman coming out, though, aggressively earning the first two takedowns. 20 seconds remaining here in the first period. Really trying to work this crossface across the top. It's hard not to hear the Cumberland Valley fans behind us. Really not working for a far side cradle, end of the first period, 4-1.
So good opening period by Mason Beeman of Cumberland Valley. This 132-pound match brought to you by Jack Giambalvo. Another look at one of the moves there.
Mason Beeman actually had choice. Christian Prestel, or he deferred. Prestel then chooses the defensive position. Begin the second period, straight up to his feet. Beeman needs to bring him back down to the mat. Prestel, great job of holding hands. Beeman following very closely behind. Now again back to that crossface. Well, I wish we could put some of these fans on the microphone from behind. You think we're excitable?
And I'm sure they'd tell you the real story, right?
And I think I could tell the mom behind me.
That's one of the great things about high school sports. You really shouldn't expect anything less than that.
No,
as far as support.
It's what makes it great, and I'll tell you, there's a great crowd out here today. To see this backyard rivalry that no one expected in the District 3 final today.
The crowd's had its moments so far in this match, but man, this joint was jumping for the double-A final between Devon and Berlin Springs.
Mason Beeman locking up a near side cradle. He's got to try and get his leg behind now, kick it up into him. Got to be careful here. There we go. Turn him to his back. He's got it tight. There it is.
Big win by Mason Beeman of Cumberland Valley at 132. You're watching High School Sports Live.
Living proof of the difference you can make when you're all for health. Highmark Blue Shield.
So Cumberland Valley has stopped the bleeding, ending a run of 4 straight wins by Cedar Cliff. That was Mason Beeman at 132. We move on to 138.
We got Michael Cassidy from Cedar Cliff versus Jacob McKenzie from Cumberland Valley. Got Michael Cassidy coming in as a junior with an 18-1 record. McKenzie coming in at 14-16. Both juniors.
In this 138-pound match brought to you by Hoffman Ford.
Cassidy looking strong here with a front headlock in a mixer situation here. Not underneath though, front headlock. Now tries to tuck his head and spin. Now trying to jump to the side. Now trying to get out and spin. He does so, earning the first two. Michael Cassidy, Cedar Cliff up 2-0. And you talked about this earlier, John, but both lineups, you know, I think 4 seniors combined. So you're going to see these guys not only postseason but next year.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that these teams met last year in the quarterfinals. Cedar Cliff won that 35-27. 12 wrestlers who were on the mat that day are in action here tonight. 6 for each team. The 6 for Cedar Cliff went 5-1 in that match last year. The 6 Cumberland Valley wrestlers were 0-6 last year.
Wow.
What that means, I have no idea. But I just love looking at those little statistical oddities.
Well, for those of you at home, bringing you all those statistics, there's no better researched or prepared guy than John Reppitz to be able to make sure that we understand the matchups and the historical perspective.
I'm the numbers guy, you're the technique guy.
Well, and speaking of technique, we've got, again, Michael Cassidy in for a second takedown. And in the first period, 4-1.
Psychologically, giving up points like that late in a period, George, does that really make a difference? Like to get, give up 2 points like that with 2 or 3 seconds left. Does that play on you as you're getting ready for the next period?
You never want to give up something with 2 or 3 seconds left on the clock here. And in this case, the clock's winding down, and Cassidy does a great setup, a low outside single.
Well, we have some injury timeout here, so let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
Back at Milton Hershey, we had an injury timeout here at 1:38. We'll go to period number 2 now. Michael Cassidy of Cedar Cliff leading Cumberland Valley's Jacob McKenzie by a count of 4-1.
Cassidy showing that he's really tough from his feet. Now again working an underhook. Both guys catching their breath as a result of blood time. Cassidy now 1, 2, 3 things, controlling that arm, controlling the head, trying to work for another takedown. Good job of defense by McKenzie. Now backs away. And again, great job by Cassidy keeping the pressure on. McKenzie really backing away.
Action's been so good here, we haven't even mentioned the 2 coaches yet.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Dave Heckert of Cumberland Valley, Rob Rapsey of Cedar Cliff. Yep. And ironically, you look across at the Cedar Cliff bench, the chairs set up here. Rob's not sitting in one of them. He's sitting in the front row of the bleachers.
Well, you know what? You have one of the Morrison boys over there, and I think what the coach does is put the individuals in the wrestling room that wrestle with these kids. They know them best. They know their style. They feel most comfortable with in the corner. And, boy, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coaches over there at Cedar Cliff. So they know which ones are able to understand each one of the wrestlers, and they've got the luxury of some guys who've got some great experience.
Now, I've often heard the officials say that it's funny how people in the bleachers can see the action better, so maybe that's what Rob's doing, sitting in the bleachers to see what he's been missing.
But this isn't the NFL. He's not calling plays from the top. And again, Cassidy in on another single leg, trying to turn from the outside. Still able to stay in control, now earns 2.
5-point advantage, make that now a 7-point advantage, 1 point away from a major decision.
Coach is indicating they want him to keep him down and stay in control through this end of this second period. They're comfortable with this 7-point lead. Cassidy working a one-on-one, still trying to stay out front, doing enough to not get called. Neither guy doing a whole lot here.
That's going to bring us to the end of period number 2. Dominating performance so far by Michael Cassidy. 9-2 advantage going to period number 3.
McKenzie selecting the defensive position to begin the third period, no surprise. Cassidy's giving up 1 point to begin to put us on our feet. I'll tell you one thing, I've not seen, there you go, first shot I've seen by Jacob. Nice way to grab across to try to do an ankle pick. Cassidy now trying to work out. Still no control. He's got the wizard in. Stalemate.
I don't know if you could see that at home, but Cassidy was wincing on that move. I mean, he was in obvious discomfort.
You know, when you got your leg in like that and you're trying to fight away, we saw it with Jason Knopf last week. You got to make sure your knee doesn't come in a really bad and compromising spot, but the referee calling the stalemate. Now Cassidy right back in on a single, extending the lead to 8.
Mentioned Jason Knopf of Penn State. Nittany Lions with a little tussle on the agenda for tonight up at State College.
Yep.
Taking on Ohio State.
I know one thing.
And number 2 ranked teams in the country.
I'm excited to watch that. That will be clear out. That's my Super Bowl tonight of wrestling. And then we get to watch the Eagles tomorrow.
The actual Super Bowl tomorrow. What a great weekend of sports. You got the district team championships today. Penn State, Ohio State tonight. Eagles, Patriots tomorrow.
Doesn't get much better of a lineup, and it's going to be tough for Penn State tonight without Jason Knopf in the lineup. Not their full lineup with Murderers Row, but still, what a run Penn State's had. Cedar Cliff's uniforms look like Penn State's a little bit, don't they? Now, after all of those shot attempts, first stalling point now awarded to Michael Cassidy.
So it's an 8-point advantage, major decision. If nothing changes in the last 20 seconds.
And again, Cassidy got to be careful here.
Cassidy takes a quick look at the clock. Realizes what's still facing him. 10 seconds left. Michael Cassidy of Cedar Cliff, a winner at 138. Count was 12-4. You're watching High School Sports Live.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
We now move on to our 145-pound match. It's going to be Marcus Vassar of Cedar Cliff against Russell Zimmerman of Cumberland Valley.
Zimmerman coming in with a 21-6 record. Vassar 6-12. Matchup favors Cumberland Valley here. But again, Cumberland Valley to get back in, this is going to need some bonus points.
Marcus Vassar, one of the members of the Vassar family. Of course, Chris Vassar had a great career for Cedar Cliff that ended a couple of years ago.
Not a whole lot of action in the first minute here. Both guys feeling each other out.
George, when coaches look at matchups, do they get a kind of a mental idea as to how many points they think it's going to take to win? Because, I mean, after 8 matches here, you got Cedar Cliff, 25 points already, doubled up Cumberland Valley. Does the coach say, 25 might be necessary, 35 might be necessary?
Well, they usually go through and play through these last matches as well, figuring out where the toss-ups are and the potential points are. So and they have a pretty good idea. And based upon the way Cedar Cliff's acting, I think they're exceeding where they thought they'd be at this point in the match.
For the 8 matches so far, the Colts have won 6 of them.
Vassar trying to spin around, not doing a good job of it. Russell Zimmerman now in for the first 2. Maintains control. Now cross wrist tilt. Trying to catch it. Took us 9 matches for that tonight.
Those, if you're not familiar, there are a number of catchphrases that we often use here. Cross wrist tilt being one of them. Head on the mat being another. Create space between the bodies is another, which you haven't said yet.
Well, we already had some that occurred. I think it was through the action. It might have been a little loud. You just didn't hear it. And for all those wrestlers at home, there's the familiar themes. So again, we're working a 2-on-1 here. Now legs in. Russell Zimmerman trying to maintain control and extend his lead.
This 145-pound match brought to you by the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency.
Great job by Vassar, getting his leg free, now trying to square him up. Coming out of bounds, no change. Actually, a real good job by Vassar to get out of those legs, immediately stand up and then face Russell Zimmerman. Fortunately, they went out of bounds. Zimmerman still maintains control. Good job standing right up by Vassar. Coming in with the tie, working a Russian. You guys doing a good job not being ear to ear. Again, not a whole lot happening here. Both guys working wrists, trying to keep inside position. Russell with the tie. Vassar trying to work with a Russian. Still controlling that arm. Zimmerman just content to stay in that tie. Now he goes ahead and shoots. And Vassar gets warned for stalling, as he does. Also, Zimmerman comes out the back for an additional 2 points, extending the lead to 5-1 as we end the second period.
Mentioned earlier that Boiling Springs victorious over Bishop McDevitt earlier in the AA final, the 8th district title in Boiling Springs history. 43-24 the score there. Third place consolation match there in AA. Northern Lebanon over Upper Dauphin, 37-28. By virtue of that third place finish, Northern Lebanon advances to the state team championships next week. Unfortunately, that loss eliminates Upper Dauphin from team competition.
Zimmerman again in. Has another 2. And when we walked into the gym earlier, it was 24-21 McDevitt against Boiling Springs, and then Boiling Springs reeled off 6 matches in a row. And boy, were the Boiling Springs fans stoked.
Kind of like the Cumberland Valley fans behind us right now.
And Zimmerman's trying to, now does, put him in criteria. Trying to get crossface, earns 2. Again, puts him into bonus point range. We got injury time, Vassar.
So while they have back pain, get a free copy of our book, Back to Normal, at maddenpt.com/free book. Mazzetti and Sullivan. High School Sports Live is proud to partner with Mazzetti and Sullivan, a provider of substance use and mental health counseling services for teens and adults at 4 convenient locations across central Pennsylvania since 1983. Visit them at mazzettiandsullivan.com or call 1-800-809-2925. That's Mazzetti and Sullivan. We listen, we help. Allied Maintenance Systems of New Cumberland, servicing central Pennsylvania since 1986. AMS specializes in facilities cleaning, floor restoration, including wood gymnasium floors. Their wood floor resurfacing can be seen locally in many public and private schools, health clubs, and churches. The service you expect, the quality you deserve. That's AMS. Back to live action at 1:45.
Earned one right off the bat for Vassar. Zimmerman in. No takedown. Again, that could be big. No bonus.
Approaching half a minute. Zimmerman in control by 7.
He knows the need to come in here. That's 1. He now gets it from the stalling.
So that puts you into a major decision category.
He needed that point.
Just seconds remaining.
Vassar really struggling to come back in. Barring any change, it's going to be a major decision.
Russell Zimmerman of Cumberland Valley gets the 3rd win of the day for the Eagles. You're watching High School Sports Live.
Hit the road with Jack. Hit the road with the Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 8 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, and Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. A Giambalvo family dealership. Over 20 million in new and pre-owned inventory with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family's been a part of your community for decades. Hit the road with Jack and find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
Oh, man. Cole McCoy right
back
in.
At Milton Hershey.
Immediately.
It's 152 pounds.
Do not blink. Cole McCoy got a half in here deep.
Cole McCoy against Alex Haddock of Cedar Cliff. And there it is. Big win for Cole McCoy of Cumberland Valley. You're watching High School Sports Live.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact the great team at NovaCare Rehabilitation or Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, we are your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Visit our website to schedule an appointment at one of our convenient community-based locations or call 800-770-6682.
We've got 4 matches to go, folks, and it's not over yet. A major decision and a pin by Cumberland Valley's tighten things up. Cedar Cliff's advantage now just 25-22 as we head to our 160-pound match brought to you by the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board.
Matthew Barrick for Cumberland Valley versus Daniel Sieg for Cedar Cliff.
Segui, I believe.
Segui. Barrett coming in with an 8-14 record. Segui 8-5. You talked about earlier in the match about, maybe it's not the wrestlers with the gaudy records that make the difference. It's these toss-up matches, and this may be just one of those matches. Not a whole lot of action in the first minute. Both guys just locking up. doing more ear-to-ear pushing than they are trying to attempt a takedown. Now Segui controlling an arm. Both guys go out of bounds.
Little housekeeping to catch up on. That quick pin by Cole McCoy at 152. Didn't give us a chance to mention that match was sponsored by Connections Charter Academy.
We hear the buzzer from the other mat. We still have about 8 seconds remaining. Still no score in the first period. Not a whole lot of action here, but again, a toss-up match. 25-22. This could really be one that separates.
George mentioned the other match going on. That's the third place match between Central Dauphin and Spring Grove. And looking at the scoreboard, it looks like Central Dauphin in control of that one. Looks like the Rams are up by a count of 26-8 over Spring Grove in that one.
More mid-pin dominance. That's not good. Segui tries to lift him up. Does a really good job of trying not to give up 2. Still no points awarded yet. Segui has lost control. It's just a matter of whether it's a 1 or 2. Barrick trying to work around. Segui trying to hang on to the outside leg. Stalemate there. We got 1 neutral. Great job moving Segui into a front headlock by Barrick. Barrick then from the front headlock trying to spin. Segui now keeps his arms out. Hangs onto the outside of the leg. Barrick now trying to sprawl away and spin. Got underneath that outside arm. Needs to do a better job of getting his hips away. Segui now locks it up. Not in a good position. Barrick unable to unlock his hands. Stalemate again. Very well officiated match today. You'd expect that in the district finals with some of the best officials in District 3. No time is wasting between guys deciding the match and calls being and rules being applied appropriately. Barrick and Segui again, 1-0 lead, 34 seconds remaining. And again, Barrick trying to control the head and front headlock situation. Segui putting himself underneath in an awkward spot. Not really a good offensive spot underneath there. Now hanging on to the elbows. Now Segui trying to work up, trying to slide in for a better position. Barrick sprawling away. Segui's got to be careful to be in there and not give anything up here. 4, 3, 2's trying to get around to hook the leg. Not able to do it.
1-0, Matt Barrick of Cumberland Valley to go to period number 2. George, hard to believe that a couple matches ago, Cedar Cliff was leading 21-6. And depending on how this turns out, we could be tied, or Cumberland Valley could actually be in front with 3 matches to go after this one.
We knew how important every point was in this match. So it's proving to be borne out in the score. Segui again in the 3rd period selecting the defensive position. Got to be careful here. Top guy cannot be stalling.
Cedar Cliff fans, that's what they're yelling for, especially the Cedar Cliff coaching staff saying he's not doing anything.
Segui trying to now work out. Again, finding himself underneath in another spot that he really doesn't want to be in. needs to really work out here. Time continues to run as he continues to work out from the bottom. He needs to really face up here in order to get one. He's able to do that, looks like.
He's driving for it.
Now he's able to get up here, stand to his feet. We got neutral. 57 seconds remaining.
1-1. This could be a huge swing here in the team score.
Fans getting revved up as this time begins to click down again. Barrett trying to control the head, trying to push Segui underneath again. Both guys near the out-of-bounds line. Segui takes a shot, tries to work in, out of bounds.
33 seconds left. It's mano a mano. Who wants it more? Who's going to blink first and make the first mistake?
Crowd on their feet.
Cedar Cliff fans really getting into it now.
Guys working ear to ear here. 20 seconds remaining. Again, near the out-of-bounds line.
Right in front of us.
Eleven seconds remaining. Still neutral, 1-1. Segui gets in on a single leg. 7 seconds remaining. Again, he needs to turn this corner. 4, 3. Doesn't look like he's going to do it. Be careful he doesn't give anything up here.
We're going to go to another overtime.
Second overtime.
Six minutes, not enough to decide that one. We're going to go extra.
Both crowds on their feet.
Here we go.
They know how significant it is. Segui gets underneath. He hooks it underneath. He switches to a double. Nothing yet. Now he's got it. There you go. That was big.
Daniel Segui with a big win for the Colts at 160. You're watching High School Sports Live.
For all those pokers, prodders, shuckers, and sniffers, All Giant Produce is triple checked. Farm, crate, and store. We're focusing on fresh, so you don't have to guess. My Giant. Save big on all of your game day favorites. Only at Giant, a proud sponsor of High School Sports Live.
Daniel Segui of Cedar Cliff with a big win at 160. Colts are on top now, 28-22. 3 bouts to go. So we move on to 170 pounds.
Got Jacob Hart.
Jacob Hart of Cumberland Valley.
And Allman. Isaiah Allman
of Cedar Cliff.
Interesting. Again, we got Jacob Hart 10-10 versus Isaiah Allman 4-4. So again, another one of these matchups.
One of those toss-ups.
Yep. Always comes down to this.
Allman a freshman, Hart a junior.
And again, a win by Cedar Cliff here could seal this, you know. Big match here.
Now doing the math, they're up by 6. A pin would put them up by 12. 2 Cumberland Valley pins would put us in a tie.
Yep. Where are we at though? 182?
We're at 170.
170.
Got 82 and 95 to go yet.
Every point matters. Oh, there it is. Nope, not yet, not yet, not yet. No point scored, no point scored. Great call by Bob Durham.
Close.
Nope, they never made it around. Out of bounds line, did not have control. Great call.
As you're saying, one of the most respected officials in the entire country.
Yep.
Not the opinion of the Cumberland Valley fans right now.
No, but I would say even if we had instant replay, he'd got it right.
Yeah.
Tell you, Isaiah Allman has really been the aggressor here. Allman now, again, got to be careful how fast he comes in there with his arms wide open. He could really end up in a bad situation, but he's aggressive. Now he try. Oh! Wow, what a series at the end there. Clock runs out. Allman through Hart. Hart rolled through. But neither of them counted because the time had expired.
Right out. Here's another quick look at that. Wow.
Again, that was
right
no
in your laps.
Yep, you see, out of bounds. No control.
This 182-pound match brought to you by Advanced Hoops. The 170, I'm sorry. Brought to you by the Dauphin County Commissioners.
Great job by Allman maintaining control. Hart did a great job off the whistle to get to his feet. Now Allman just really into a sort of a claw ride here. Hart again to his feet.
Still scoreless.
Allman indicating he's going to give an optional start. Does so, giving up first point to Jacob Hart. Now Allman back.
The 2. So that move paid off. Gave up 1 to get 2.
That's correct. And I would suspect with that success, you might see it again. I don't think he really likes the position of the top. Actually, instead of even going optional here, giving up 1 before we start.
So we're now tied at 2-2.
Allman really aggressive.
Really aggressive, and he must feel confident on his feet in that neutral position.
He's got to make sure that he doesn't use that balance coming forward all the time to be used against him. You got to stay balanced. Still continue to try to work that outside single. He's up high on the thigh, not in a really good spot, close to the out-of-bounds line. Both guys out.
Some housekeeping there, taking care of the chin strap.
When it's equipment, it is no time that's taken for the wrestlers.
Good shot of the Cedar Cliff bench there. Still some anxious moments left in this one. This one's still up for grabs.
First time I've seen Jacob, even though Jacob Hart was moving forward, it was more of a push, but he is now moving forward. Allman now in. Actually, gives him 2, but Hart continues to work through to get 1. That could have been really bad for Jacob Hart. Does a great job as soon as he gets put to his back trying to continue that momentum. Even though he gives up 2, doesn't give up any near fall. Keeps it within distance. Now Allman back in on a double leg. Got Hart sitting on his butt. He needs to work up higher. There it is. He got 2. Makes it 8-3.
Allman glancing at the clock as we've got 10 seconds left in period 2. That's
Good
going to
job
do
by
it for
Allman.
period 2. Great period by Isaiah Allman of Cedar Cliff there. Here's another look at that.
Again, it got caught on his back, but Hart really trying to use the momentum, completely turning away in order to stave off any near falls after the takedown. Allman selecting the neutral position in the beginning of the third period.
Period 3 underway. 8-3 lead for Allman.
Allman really in a good underhook position here. Also with the control of the hands. Steps through. Boy. Allman has remained in really good position in these ties. And again, tries to drag. Still staying in that underhook position. Now being pushed a little bit by Hart. Now Hart trying to bang on the head. Allman back to the underhook. Allman keeps that underhook. You know, he needs to move his head in better position, but he's got a good spot with that underhook. He needs to lower his level and put his temple into Hart's temple in order to maintain a good position. Does a good job of lifting and shooting, however, does it out of bounds. It's a couple of nuances. I like the way Allman is keeping position through these ties.
When you're in a tight physical match like this with a minute left, does that last minute seem to take forever?
Depends upon who you are. There it is. Allman
got two
finally
more.
again from the top. Lateral drop. Earns 2.
Big effort here by Isaiah Allman of Cedar Cliff at 170.
Going right back to his feet again, looking for this major decision. Going to give up 1. If he gets 2 more here, we'll earn an additional bonus point for Cedar Cliff, which could be really important. Again, trying to control wrists there. Allman back in on a takedown. Now has the inside arm. He may actually turn this into just additional bonus points. No! Great job by Jacob Hart rolling through
He's
again.
got 3 more.
Give him the major decision. Could have been worse for Cumberland Valley. Great Hart. Great gasoline in the tank to finish this one out for Isaiah Allman from Cedar Cliff at the right time.
So at 170, Isaiah Allman, big win for the Colts. You're watching High School Sports Live.
What were you thinking, Chuck?
You're not 18 anymore.
Is my leg supposed to bend like that?
6 months on the heating pad. I hope it was worth it.
I wonder if cartilage grows back.
Yep, that's gonna break right in half.
This looks so easy on TV.
Two matches to go. Cedar Cliff on top by 10. For Cedar Cliff at 182, it's Elijah Ikeda taking on
Jacob Lucas.
Jacob Lucas of Cumberland Valley.
Lucas, a freshman with a 19-4 record. Ikeda, 4-11 record. Matchup favors Cumberland Valley.
If there's one thing that Cumberland Valley needs, they need 6 here.
Yeah, well, in talking pre-match with the coaches and the scorers table, they like this Jacob Lucas. They think he is one strong, one really, really resilient wrestler. Again, injured his elbow a little bit early in the season. They were talking about wrestling an individual who was ranked high in the state. Even after the injury, comes back to win. showed some great resilience this year, and so far has posted a 19-4 record. Cumberland Valley really needs to lean hard on this freshman, as we only have 2 matches remaining in the district final.
You know, sometimes when you talk about, freshmen, you expect them in the lower weight classes. These teams are stacked with some great freshmen at the upper weight classes, like right here. Jacob Lucas is a freshman. Isaiah Almond, who we just saw, he's also a freshman.
Akita's a freshman.
Akita's a freshman.
Yep.
In the upper weight classes, you wouldn't really expect. You expect to see the more physically developed, and the people that have been the older wrestlers.
Well, this means good things for football teams. It also means great things for the future of the wrestling teams, both at Cumberland Valley and Cedar Cliff. And we got a blood timeout.
We have blood timeout, so while we have a timeout, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The Advanced Hoops training staff features Division I level instructors and coaches who have played professionally. Charlie Fortney's shooting instruction has proven transformational for players in South Central PA. Gerald Jarman takes players to the next level in his dribbling and crossover intensity classes. Archie Smith teaches intense speed and agility and is very motivational. 6'9" Duke McCamey is excellent at teaching young post player technical skills around the basket.
Over 30 years of Division I and professional experience. It doesn't get any better than that.
Back to live action at 182. This and 1 more to go.
Lucas now showing the urgency. I think was told by the coach over here, we need you. He wants to be careful here that he doesn't do anything to put himself in a bad position, but knows he needs bonus points, if not a fall in this match, to keep Cumberland Valley in this one.
This 182-pound match is brought to you by Advanced Hoops. Folks, stick around. We have a bunch of decisions to make. Post-match report brought to you by Mazzetti and Sullivan. The move of the match brought to you by Capital Region Insurance Agency, and the wrestler of the match sponsored by Hoffman Ford. Stay tuned for those announcements coming up at the conclusion of this one.
And again, Lucas really being aggressive here. We get stalls from the Cumberland Valley's fans. And referee awards a rightful stalling call on Elijah Aikita, first one of the match, as the clock winds down in the first period. Nice little headlock right before the end of the period.
Scoreless after the first 2 minutes. I have to say, I keep glancing over at the coaches, and this is probably the most subdued I've seen Dave Heckert in any of the matches that we've been at, that we've done with Cumberland Valley over the years.
Me too. Again, we saw an attempt by Lucas, and then a counter by Aikita, an attempted headlock, and Lucas just stayed strong, based out, and was able to get behind for 2. Now maintains control up 3-0.
Now, if you're Aikita, you realize your team's up by 10. If you lose this but only give up 3 points, that clinches the match. Is that thought process going through your mind, realizing that, hey, if I only lose by 7 or less, our team wins?
I don't think he needs to have that thought process by himself, knowing Cedar Cliff's coaches. They probably reminded him of that very clearly as he stepped out here in this match.
The coaches are thinking that, but you don't necessarily want the wrestler thinking that, correct?
Yep, but I think they probably told him to go out there and wrestle aggressively, right. But you know you can't give up anything big. Right. So.
I think sometimes it's an often used or overused expression about staying within yourself, but that's definitely what you want him to do here. Just wrestle a basic match. Don't do anything, out of the ordinary that's going to cost you big time.
Yep. But you can tell that Jacob Lucas is really favoring that elbow. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have a whole lot of strength in that thing. He's obviously got really solid legs for a freshman and a good-looking upper body so far. Very well developed. Caution now.
Can the average person appreciate what he's going through right now with that elbow, the way it is all wrapped up like that?
No, unless you've wrestled and understand how much torque and what you need to use every muscle in those areas for. Again, it's a little bit prohibitive, but he's been out here and he's been performing well. And speaking of which, almost turned. Elijah Aikida still has the inside leg hook. Now is trying to work with a good elbow.
Blood time.
Not liking that at all. He had a Turk situation where he had the inside leg trapped, was trying to work there for a wing. He started running the bar, and as rightfully so, when you see blood on the mat, you got to stop it. So Cumberland Valley fans don't like it, but it is by the rules. You got to stop it anytime you see the blood.
He's pointing to the mat, too. He's basically saying, it's not my decision. There it is. There's your evidence.
Yep.
Would a stoppage at this point favor one wrestler or another?
In that case, it clearly favored the Cedar Cliff wrestler. He was close with having that inside leg trapped to being turned to his back. And in that situation, that clearly gave him an advantage. But the rules are the rules. You can't have communicable chances of diseases passing back and forth with blood. And it needs to be cleaned up and addressed before we can get back to live wrestling.
And we are going to get back to live wrestling. 39 seconds left in period 2. Cedar Cliff fans across the way doing their best to encourage their wrestler.
And again, it not only favors him, but look at the spring in life after you get a little bit of a break. And again, Jacob Lucas knowing he needs to earn bonus points here.
Just a regular decision is not going to do it.
Great job by Elijah Aikida. Trapping the hand, getting space between the body, and earning one, making it 3-1.
So I guess now going to period 3, the question is going to be the blood time situation. Could that come into play now with 2 minutes to go?
More than likely, no. You got 5 minutes. He didn't use very much of it at all. So we're good, I think, there. I think the big key is he going to get out of this without giving up any bonus points and secure the victory for Cedar Cliff?
Is it 5 minutes total for the match or 5 minutes for each individual?
No, 5 minutes total. But again, they run the clock until they get it addressed. Then they stop the clock, clean you up, and send you back out. So very rarely have I been a part of a match where blood time has disqualified a wrestler.
Okay.
And again, Aikida content with hanging out down there, hanging on to that elbow. And again, just trying to control hands is the direction from the coaches. Control hands and try not to let them score.
Cumberland Valley, a 9-time district team champion. Cedar Cliff, only once in their history have they brought home this title. That was back in 1991, just the second year of the team championships. So Cumberland Valley's either going to take home the title for the 10th time or Cedar Cliff for the 2nd.
Again, working at Russian here, still hanging on to that elbow. Sort of keeping a hold of the weak point. Not allowing him to get free to do a whole lot.
You can see the aggressiveness coming out now in Jacob Lucas.
Yeah, he knows he needs to score bonus points here. And again, backing away. That's one. It's not going to make a difference. Got to be very careful here.
Clock continues to run. 20 seconds. This could wrap it up for Cedar Cliff.
Yep.
Cedar Cliff crowd ready to erupt. The instruction is just back away. Just let him go.
And again, he's already got stalling warnings on him.
2 seconds left.
Cedar Cliff feeling it.
This is going to clinch it. Even though he loses, he's going to win it for his team.
Yep.
Jacob Lucas wins for Cumberland Valley at 182. You're watching High School Sports Live.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
Folks, it's all over. Cedar Cliff is going to offer a forfeit at 195 pounds. So to wrap things up at 182, Jacob Lucas of Cumberland Valley gets the 3-point win. So it was a 32-25 advantage. Cedar Cliff gives up the forfeit and the 6 points there, making the final score Cedar Cliff 32, Cumberland Valley 31.
What a match. I mean, I'll tell you, Cedar Cliff got the bonus points where it mattered. Those toss-up matches, as we talked about, they got them where it matters. Cedar Cliff has really had one heck of a season, only losing one match and really on a roll as they begin to move into the state team championships. And big victory today for Cedar Cliff, and one that I know will build on a program that's already had a great storied tradition and a great effort today. They got them all where they needed them today, John.
So Cedar Cliff takes home the District 3 AAA Team Championship. We'll be back here at Spartan Center on the campus of Milton Hershey to wrap things up. Take a short timeout. You're watching High School Sports Live.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hey, you two, it's dinner time. When Marcus and Michelle were starting their family, they came to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for their home loan. We're proud we could help Marcus, Michelle, and Mia. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help home ownership dreams come true.
My 3 CCA students love attending cyber school. They love the interaction with the other families, with their teachers, with the other students. The students will learn on the computer. They have live lessons just like the lessons would be in a typical school when you go to it. As a learning coach, my role is to support my students and facilitate their education. The curriculum is very extensive, and so the students are being challenged every single day in their different subject areas. CCA has helped my family to get a quality education, and it has been a wonderful experience.
Living proof of the difference you can make when you're all for health. Highmark Blue Shield.
No regrets. If only she'd parked in a garage. If only they had the chimney cleaned. If only they had Erie Insurance. Erie is seriously good insurance that treats you fairly and goes above and beyond to make you feel like your auto or home mishap never happened. At rates that'll save you as much as the other guys. So get a quote from Erie today. Because whatever your regrets in life, your insurance company shouldn't be one of them.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency. Get a quote at 717-731-1142.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $6.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
Welcome back to Milton Hershey School, the Spartan Center. And this is the Mazzetti and Sullivan post-match report. And it's a long time coming. Cedar Cliff won its first district title, as I said, back in 1991, just the second year of the team championships.
Awesome.
They'd never made it back to the final until last year. The Colts lost to Exeter in that team final. They get back this year, and they take home their second team championship, knocking off Cumberland Valley in a match that gave us really everything we could have asked for, right, George?
Yeah, I'm looking down their lineup sheet, I see sophomore, freshman, junior, sophomore. So Cedar Cliff, was in the finals last year. Last time they won 91. But I'd suspect, based upon this lineup and the performance, we're going to see them maybe one or two more times before this team is unassembled. And today, all of the close matches, all of the ones that were toss-ups, all of the ones that were expecting to get bonus points in, particularly early, Cedar Cliff came ready today, and they showed improved, and they needed to in all those spots. Again, with a narrow margin of victory, 32-31, but got them where it counted.
You see Cumberland Valley coach Dave Heckert giving the medals to his runner-up Eagles, and we have some awards to hand out ourselves. First of all, we're going to take a look at the move of the match, and that took place at 113 pounds. It was Colbert of Cedar Cliff taking on Ben Munn of Cumberland Valley, and this one went overtime, and it was Colbert coming up with the win.
And again, we talked about overtime. This was not just a swing in overtime, but it was also it was going from 3 bonus points then to 16 points. So it was a close overtime match turned into a pin and a fall, really a swing around.
That put Cedar Cliff up by a count of 15-6 at that point. The other one we have to hand out is the wrestler of the match, brought to you by Hoffman Ford. That too goes to Cedar Cliff. That came at 160 pounds, another overtime winner. It was Daniel Segui of Cedar Cliff against Matthew Barrick of Cumberland Valley.
And again, Segui just hanging in there throughout the entire match. Right at the end, again, it took it into overtime with a stalling warning, and then takes the overtime victory. That match was a necessity in order to get Cedar Cliff out ahead.
And that was big because it gave Cedar Cliff a 28-22 advantage. They then added another win by Isaiah Alman at 170 to open up a 10-point margin, or a 7-point margin, 10-point margin there at the time. And Cumberland Valley comes back, but not enough. And as you see, there is Coach Rob Rapsey giving his medals to his AAA District 3 team champion, Cedar Cliff Colts. So this wraps up the district team competition, but we still got a lot more wrestling, live wrestling to go for the rest of the season. These teams now just advance and move right on to the PIAA team championships, and that gets underway next week.
And then you get a week break, and then you start right back into the individuals, sectionals, districts, and then regionals for AA, and then you move on to the individual state finals. So postseason, this is where we need to be wrestling our best, be at our peak, make sure everybody's healthy, and Cedar Cliff really riding high on momentum here as they become a district champion for the first time since 1991.
So Cedar Cliff's going to go in as the number 1 seed out of District 3. Cumberland Valley goes in as the number 2 seed. And at the match on the other mat has also wrapped up. That was the 3rd place match between Central Dauphin and Spring Grove. The Rams of Central Dauphin, the winner in that one, by a count of 40-25. So Central Dauphin will go in as the 3rd place team, and Spring Grove goes in as the 4th place team out of District 3.
Mid-Penn, we talk about Cedar Cliff, Cumberland Valley, CD, 3 of the best and most storied programs in our area, and going to represent us well going into Hershey.
Our next basketball broadcast is going to be coming up on Friday, I believe. That's Middletown at Lower Dauphin. That'll be coming your way on February 8th at 7:30. And here is the trophy presentation. The Cedar Cliff Colts, District 3 AAA team champions for the 2nd time in their school's history. That's going to wrap it up for us for today, and not only for today, but for the season. This is our last wrestling telecast. Thank you for watching. and like to thank all our sponsors for their support. Without them, this kind of telecast and this excitement that we can bring you would not be possible. So if you get a chance, please frequent those sponsors that have been so gracious to us, and let them know how much you appreciate seeing wrestling on, on High School Sports Live here on ABC 27.3. So that's going to wrap it up here from Spartan Center. Again, earlier today, Boiling Springs, the winner over Bishop McDevitt, a AA title. You just saw Cedar Cliff wrap up the AAA team title. So for my partner, George Hardwick, I'm John Repitz. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have a good day.